I'm Matt Rathel. I am the owner and studio director for a game development company called Graphite Lab. And Graphite Lab operates here in St. Louis, Missouri, in the Midwest part of the U.S. And I also teach and develop game design coursework as a professor of practice at Maryville University, also located here in sunny St. Louis. And having those two roles puts me in a position very frequently to receive questions from aspiring game designers and game developers, and occasionally from even parents of aspiring game designers and game developers, all seeking to provide or all seeking to gain some sort of clarity on how to get into the industry, what's the best steps to take, how do you kind of reach the most success, what are the opportunities out there, and so on. And so instead of just responding to yet another student, I thought I'd make this video. That way my response can be shared, or perhaps comments and conversation can be had among a handful of potential students or potential developers. So the question that I'm going to ask in this video is, what is most important to being successful? And this question comes from an aspiring game developer here in St. Louis. The question continues to say that the degree you get, such as game art or illustration, for instance, or the school you go to, such as a school that specializes in entertainment art like Gnomon, or a school that offers something more basic like a BFA in illustration? Or is it more important to make connections that you acquire through school? And this is a wonderful question, and I might just answer it by sharing some of my own experience, because certainly the degree you get can provide value. Certainly a specialization like getting an illustration degree from a BFA can have a certain value, and building a network through school or out of school can also bring value. So the answer to which one is most important to being successful is a little bit tough to answer without the caveat of it depends. So I'll just share my experience. So the degree I got was a 3D modeling degree. And it was 3D modeling that I wanted to do in the games industry. That's how I was going to find my in. Now, I've been in this industry almost 20 years, so this was quite a while ago that I got my 3D modeling degree. But for me, getting that 3D modeling degree, which wasn't specialized in games, was pretty important to building fundamentals and general 3D modeling principles that I applied to the games industry. The school I went to did not specialize in entertainment art. It was Missouri State University down in Springfield, which is a small town in southwest Missouri, and it didn't specialize in entertainment art. In fact, the degree I got was a new degree at the school at the time. It had only had a few classes of graduates, and it was very experimental. At the time, there was only 2 3D release movies. I believe it was Toy Story and Bug's Life. So it wasn't like present day where there's tons of 3D entertainment content. So going there and getting a 3D modeling degree was very experimental, moderately risky, and certainly not geared towards video games. So I went to a school that was getting kind of more of a basic education. And through that, I made quite a lot of connections. So I was able to get my very first role in the industry because I answered a job posting that was posted at that school. So there are a few moments of luck there where I got the degree that I was searching for, but I got connected with the studio that was looking for somebody just like me at the time, and they posted just in the location that I was. So there's a little bit of luck. So when I say what's most important to being successful, I'd like to actually add something to this question, because I think it's passion, determination, and a whole ton of hard work that's really the most important thing. If you approach, your degree, your career, your network with passion, with enthusiasm, and with a whole lot of energy, I think you can reach success in a more dependable way with those things. So hear me out. Let's say you go to school and you have no passion for what you're doing. You go to school and you have a terribly pessimistic attitude, and you go to a fancy school like Gnomon, and you are resistant to meeting with or talking to any of your peers. Like when I explain it that way, it's very easy to see how those elements, when applied to any of these other awesome opportunities, drag the whole experience down. So that's why I feel like those might be the more important things, even though they're excluded from this list. Because I feel like even if you go to a regional school, even if you get a generalized degree, something focused in art, visual art, and creativity, if you've got that passion and if you've got that dedication, you can connect those skills with other like-minded individuals and I think reach some success. But this industry is not an easy one. You have to push really, really hard, and you have to have a lot of endurance. And I think that having a passion for video games can provide some of that endurance necessary to reach success, no matter what combination of steps you've taken to kind of break in.